Hi everyone, Amanda here. I am coming to you from my home office today. It's lovely to be here. I have just returned from a meeting with a client. I went to their commercial property. It's something that I do often, go out to see clients. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. A mentor of mine once told me that. Always good to get the on-the-ground view. And I was consulting with that client because they had carried out some work to the common property within their strata scheme. And the Owners Corporation was not happy about that work because they didn't seek approval to do that work before it started. And I thought it might be a good opportunity for me to jump on the page here and talk about common property rights bylaws, what they are, and how you might be able to use them to cure a situation where you may have carried out work around your lot affecting the common property and have not got the approval of the Owners Corporation. How do we use a common property rights bylaw to cure that problem? And coincidentally enough, this is a topic that Rena and I spoke about on the podcast this week, and you'll see the post for that episode just below this one. It's episode 143, I believe. Let me just have a quick check. Yep, episode 143. Rena and I talked about a few things in that episode. What are privilege documents? We also talked about a case to do with hard flooring, which is worth checking up on. And we talked about common property rights bylaws. So Rena had an experience in a building that she manages where a lot owner had done work, and after completing the work had submitted the common property rights bylaw to make sure that that owner was taking full responsibility for the work and any common property affected by it. So the short thing to remember is that you can use these bylaws to obtain retrospective consent for work that you have already carried out. So that is something that, in my experience, is quite common, not only between lot owners and owners corporations trying to resolve problems around unapproved renovation works, but also in the tribunal. So we do have cases, some of them reported, some of them not reported, that I've just been involved in, where the tribunal member has said to an unhappy owners corporation, somebody who's approaching the tribunal saying this lot owner has carried out extensive work to their property, they didn't get approval, seeking an order that that person have to reinstate the common property. The tribunal says, well, I appreciate the work's been done. Yes, they should have got approval, but a relatively cheap, quick, easy way to fix this is for a bylaw to be prepared, which sets out all the work that has been done, makes very clear that the lot owner is responsible for all common property affected by that work, is responsible for the cost of that work, for any damage to common property or other lot property that may arise because of that work, for any increases in insurance premiums because of that work. And that bylaw is then specially resolved and registered on the title and can be enforced if it has to be in the future against that owner. So the tribunal sees that as a way to resolve these kinds of disputes. And I always recommend to owners and owners corporations who come to me for advice in this kind of a situation to explore that step, to see if that's a possibility, to propose a bylaw dealing with the work after the fact, acknowledging that the work's been done, and see if that keeps the lot owner happy and see if that keeps the building happy. And that's a good first step to take before approaching the tribunal, especially if we think the tribunal is going to make that order anyway. So you want to be having a look at section 143, I think it is, in our Strata Schemes Management Act in New South Wales, which tells you a little bit about common property rights bylaws, what they are and how you might get one. And the key lesson that I wanted to share today is for you to remember that you can solve a dispute about unapproved works after the fact, after the works have already been done, by using a common property rights bylaw. And head over to yourstrataproperty.com.au/podcasts if you want to check out the latest podcast episode on that very issue with Rena and I having a chat about it. Now, this may be the last live that I have before Christmas. So I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, safe, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year, however it is that you celebrate. I hope you're taking a break, that you've had a big productive year and getting ready for the next one. I certainly am. Enjoy, guys.